We are recording. We want to welcome everyone. While we await the arrival of our esteemed president, I would like to recognize our visiting Rotarian, Terry Robinson. Terry Robinson is a long-term Rotarian. He tells me 47 years, and was late of the Rotary Club of St. Thomas, where he was a multiple officer. And unfortunately, Maria have removed him from St. Thomas, at least temporarily, we hope. And he's hiding out in Reston, Virginia. And since I did something similarly for about 3 months after Maria, it's I know he's doing well. He's with family. Terry, I'll unmute you. Would you say good morning? I can't unmute you for some reason. Well,
I think he probably muted himself, and
yeah, but I can unmute you if you mute yourself.
Oh, really? Okay.
Oh, yes.
I don't like this amount of control you have over everyone.
What do you think I want to be the sergeant at arms? DFAs. Okay, Terry may be frozen too. That's the other opportunity, that both he and Dawn have reached the freeze point.
Is that any better?
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Say good morning.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
It's nice to join you. I felt this was a very good route for me to take to join the eClub of the Caribbean, since we spent 51 years in St. Thomas, and we have deep roots. Even though we were not from St. Thomas, we felt that 51 years earned us the right to be called a St. Thomian. So we're now in Reston, Virginia. Our daughter and family live here. Our son is Scott, and his family are 30 minutes away in Bethesda, Maryland. And we've signed a year's lease in a condo in the Reston Town Center. So we're just getting organized. We still have photographs and other cartons to unpack, but it's coming along very nicely. So it's a pleasure to be with everyone this morning.
Well, thank you, Jerry. It's a great pleasure and an honor to have you with us. And so please hope you enjoy, and we'll go. Although Dawn did not provide for it in the minutes, there is, or in the agenda, there is a Rotary Minute this morning, and I might as well take this opportunity to
Thanks, John.
yeah, hang on a second. I'm struggling with dealing with Zoom and the things, as you understand.
I'll do it this morning.
And share computer sound. Rotary Minute. Share screen. Screen.
What I've learned from being a Rotarian is that there is so much more than just my community. As you know, the years have gone by, I've become much more internationally focused and understand that there's so much more that I can do as a part of a bigger whole than I could ever do on my own.
We may see ourselves as different individuals, but we're all connected. And therefore, serving other people actually is serving yourself. And that is a very important lesson I've learned as a member of this great organization.
You know, I've learned that every action I take has a reaction, and to always be cognizant of how that will affect other people is very important. And in a larger sense, how much a small group of people can accomplish when they put their minds to it.
To relate to older people who might be in need, and to younger people who can learn so much from somebody who has good faith. That's what Rotary has taught me, to be a person, to be able to relate to others.
All right, stop share.
Meet David. David has been thinking about joining his local Rotary Club, but he's got some reservations.
Is everybody still here? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I don't know. Let me talk just briefly and just add my own to this. What I have learned from Rotary is pretty much what they said, that there are an awful lot of people in the world looking after an awful lot of needs, and to be a small part of that, even a little cog in the great big wheel, it's rewarding, satisfying. Dawn, we have gone through some of the agenda. We are now to the announcements.
My home computer system was down Thursday, got it working Friday. It was working this morning, and then just went into IP hell and completely crashed, and I couldn't get on. I'm now on my phone. We are working on the meeting schedule for the rest of August. Next week is Who's New in the Rotary Club. We would like for recent members and potential members in particular, this is a meeting where we'd like for you, if you are interested or if you're just thinking about maybe joining, we'd like to have next week be a time when you can tell us a little bit more about yourself. Tell us about your Rotary journey, about life in general, about what your interests are. Any experience you've had with being on online-based groups before or Rotary before, just whatever you want us to know about you. It's a time to chit-chat with our coffee and get to know you. So I know Terry is here. For some of the people who've been interested who are not here, I will be sending an email to specifically invite them for next week. But that was our thought for next week's meeting.
Okay.
Unless people think that's not going to work and we reschedule it or do something else.
Yeah.
Hi, Howard. That was the main announcement I've got.
Okay.
Welcome to Canada, Howard.
He's not smiling anymore.
All right. Does anybody else have any news, personal news, info to share?
Yes, we have two grandsons who are playing for Spain for the under-19 cricket team, and these are the qualifiers, the first round qualifiers for the Cricket World Cup under-19 for the under-19 teams, and that will take place in 2020. But they are going into the first round. So they're playing international cricket. They are representing Spain next week. So we're excited. We don't hold out huge hopes because this is a very, very new sport for Spain, but I'm sure they'll do their best.
Good, congrats.
Everybody see Howard's note?
Mm-hmm. I empathize with that too.
I saw the plans that IKEA has for opening a new store, and they had the plans set out, and now all they got to do is have somebody figure out how to put it together.
Morning, everyone.
Yeah. Good.
All right.
And one other note from our last week meeting, Holly did send me a kind of a summary of how she sees the project, and I will be emailing that around.
Okay.
I really intended to get stuff done by Thursday, and then I've had nothing but problems, except for those little windows that make you think you don't have a problem, and then you do anyway. So I will get news around. All right, now that it is whatever time it is, 9:29, I was hoping for this meeting that we could together go over the goals that we need to set as a club in Rotary Club Central. Some of you may have seen that I sent around the citation guidelines for the district and for the Rotary president and for public image. If you didn't get a chance to read it, my fault. I didn't get it to you early enough, but I was thinking we would go on Rotary Club Central, where most of that information is going to be tracked, and look through, and we can decide as a club what we want our targets to be, or at least get started, and then if we don't get finished, we can decide with the board or decide as a group how we want to go about setting the rest of them. But we need to get them set this month.
I see the in the presidential citation, I see some interesting things. To achieve a net gain of one member, that I think is that certainly happened. To improve our retention rate by 1% or whatever, that's possible. I hesitate to try and achieve a net gain in female members, since us guys are so severely outnumbered in this club already.
Yeah, my first thought was maybe we can get an exemption to have a net gain of one male.
No, I think we should ask for it. I absolutely do, because the principle applies. If you know, it really doesn't matter which way round it is. It is, you know, it's good to have a good representation of the community. So I mean, I have no doubt that we would be allowed to do that as an exception. But Lou, I think
I'm all for
it.
Lou has her hand up.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if Ellie is still a member.
He had said he wanted to be a member. I've noticed that he's really not signing in, and I think this is sort of the quiet fade into the dark.
Yeah.
Because I haven't seen hide nor hear of him since.
Has he paid his membership? If he hasn't, then maybe that would be
I'm going to have to call him and get on him to participate somehow, and then my guess is for the next period, which is halfway through the year, we're just going to have to drop him. But we may have that net gain anyway, because we've got at least 2 or 3 people who are saying they're in.
Yeah.
So, and they're all male.
Well, I thought all male, or 2 males and 1 female. It's Jason, Terry, and Terry's wife.
Well, Terry's wife, Suzanne, has not offered, although we could prevail upon Terry to drag her along, because I don't think there's an online inner wheel.
No, there isn't an online inner wheel, but she's still very busy and travels, but I will ask her.
Yeah, appreciate that.
Yeah, we don't want to start strong-arming your wife before you're even part of the club. This is a very laid-back group, but yeah, we've already got at least 1 couple, so we'll ask.
So I think in the support and strengthen clubs, we've got the 3. We've got at least 3 of those. I'm looking at the focus and increase humanitarian service. John,
do you have Rotary Club Central up, or do you have the citation up?
I have the citation.
Okay. Since I'm on a phone, would anybody be willing to pull up Rotary Club Central so we can kind of see what the things are? Okay, thanks.
Hold on.
That was my plan, and it's why I was cussing so much at my computer trying to get on instead of just bolting to the phone, because I wanted to lead us through that. Now, don't faint, everybody. There's a lot of things you can pick from, but we don't have to choose every category. We pick the ones that matter to us, and then by looking over at the citations, which I can read for people if necessary, we can pick what is applicable to the citations or what's just applicable to what we want to do. While Diana's pulling that up, shall I read folks what's in the presidential citation guidelines for 2018, 2019? Would that be useful?
Not to me, I'm looking at it.
Okay, or John can.
Yeah, I'm looking at it too, Dawn. I've got the attachment open here.
Okay.
I think focus and increase humanitarian service, we certainly contribute at least $100 per capita to the annual fund. We can handle that. I don't know I hope we can increase the number of members involved in service projects and hold an event to raise funds for polio eradication. We can do that. So I think that we can get 3 of those goals. Anybody?
Yeah, I agree with that, John. I think also the last one, that conduct a significant local or international service project, is a possibility as well. I agree with your 3, but I think that's a backup.
Yes.
That was my thought as well, if we do decide to go forward with a homeopathy project.
Yes.
And I think, was it Howard or Brent who suggested that we at least get involved with the Rotary Club? That was kind of a question mark. It would be a nice bonus, but I don't know if we want to go for it quite yet.
So that would not qualify as sponsoring or co-sponsoring the Rotary Club. So,
all right.
And then moving on to enhance public image and awareness, post successful club projects, volunteer hours and funds raised on Rotary Showcase. I think we should do that. We use their brand guidelines templates in where possible. Arrange for the club members to talk with the media. Continue or establish a partnership with a corporate, governmental, or NGO and work on a project together. That's what we are talking about with the homeopathy. And whether we want to sponsor a youth exchange student or a RILA participant, I think possibly we might come up with sponsoring a RILA participant this year.
Yeah. Would Leslie may be willing to try and arrange some media on the Women's Center project that we did and the ongoing results of that.
Outstanding. That
would be a possibility. Hosting an event for Rotary alumni might be as simple as we find an alumni, we get a list of alumni from the district and we set up an online meeting and invite people to it.
Yeah.
That would be an event. So that's another one I said, question mark.
But yeah, we've got a better chance of doing that than a lot of Terra clubs because we can drag in alumni from all over the planet.
Yeah, so we've got at least 4 we could go for.
Okay. Although I think it's an interesting concept to get the alumni from our district together, because I'm sure that happens, and they've all got a common thread running through, and maybe don't know what each other has done. So that might be just to host a meeting for the alumni and invite other clubs as guests. I think would be quite a fun idea.
Yeah,
that's what I'm thinking of doing.
Well,
good idea.
That we should get a presidential citation.
Okay. What were the 300 support and strengthen clubs that you saw, John? I thought we'd get a net gain of 1 member.
Yes.
Net gain in mail.
Yes. Increase participation. I put that away for a second here.
I thought have at least 60% of club members report birth dates through My Rotary. Would people be willing to do that, or is that just a non-starter? I mean, that's simple to do.
Yeah. Well, it would be simple if
if you are willing.
Yeah, if we could get them to log on.
Well, we know most of them, so they should
We don't
say,
know
yeah,
the
sure,
year, I
no
think
problem. Yeah.
Yeah, but we don't know the year. That's usually the sticking point, Lou,
Yeah.
because some members don't want to put the year in that they were born.
Oh,
I mean,
really?
it doesn't bother me.
Okay.
Mine's in there, but
Yeah.
but I know it bothers some of our members, our more senior members, shall we say?
Yeah.
So I know, good morning, everyone. I know I'm late.
Yeah, hi, Jason.
I just wanted to
Hi,
point out, since you did say the year, there's a setting in the My Rotary Club Runner
That's right.
where you could say, don't publish my year.
Yeah.
You can even say, don't publish
That's
my
right.
day.
That's right. You put it in one time only, and it's there for statistical purposes, but not. for
Yeah, it
publication.
needs to be put. It needs to be put into Club Runner, and if it's put into Club Runner, it gets to Rotary, right?
We may be there. Membership trends, gender trends, we had female and male all reported. Age trends, we had only 7 people unreported out of 19. So we've got
Got a chance.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 out of 19 is already 60%, right?
Yeah, I don't know. That's math.
Yeah. Yes.
So that one we've actually got done even where we are. So yeah, we should totally be able to get it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, the other one John mentioned, Dawn, was the retention rate that we could meet.
Okay. A retention rate of 90% is basically, we would have to not drop any more than 2 members, and with both Leslie and Ellie being very much on the bubble,
But we're not.
that's one that would be nice, but I'm not sure we can count on it.
We're not losing Leslie.
Well, she's sticking around for this project, and then she's going to decide, is what I heard. And then Ellie, I think, is doing a Haitian
Yes.
goodbye, because he's just not participating. Either the link's not working, or he's lost interest, and I think he's not long for this club. And there's 2 already.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I think the citation is doable. The big thing's going to be that one of our Rotary minutes every month or so is going to have to be going by, okay, where are we on these 3 sections?
Okay.
And if there's anything that needs attention or anything that's not done yet, then we've got to keep it in mind so you don't get to April and go, oh no, we forgot. All right.
Hey.
For the district, would people rather go through Rotary goals or rather hear specifically about the district award? Or would you rather set the goals independently of district? That's my first question, is how do we want to go about this?
I think they're 2 different things, actually, because the sort of statistics that Rotary is asking for in Rotary Club Central is not, although it's part of achieving the various citations, it's not quite the same thing.
I know, which is why I'm asking, what's more important to people? Do we want to set our own goals for Rotary Club Central? Or do we want to focus first on district goals? I'm kind of with you, Diana. I tend to say let's pick our own goals on Rotary Club Central first and then come back and see how they align to district.
Yeah, because we can always adjust them, can't we? I mean, they're not set in stone. You know, you can go back and adjust them throughout the year as you know, as things change.
All right. So then let's go up. If you can do the inputting, Diana, when we've made our decisions.
Yeah.
Club membership, we're at 19. Net gain to 20. We may have some attrition and some ads.
I'd like to set it higher and say 21. I'd like to set a goal that's it's doable, but still gives us some reason to stretch.
Okay.
I mean, that's my.
I like stretch goals.
Yeah,
I like saying we'll go after them, but we're not superhuman. We won't hit all of them.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd agree with John. I think let's go for 21. Let's see where we go.
Okay.
We ought to do better.
Yeah.
Diana, for some reason, I can't get.
Howard, Jason, Lou.
Can you not see what I'm doing?
I can see what you're doing. I can't get back to anything else, though.
John, what you may have to do is when they share their screen, it puts you in full screen mode automatically.
Just escape.
Yeah, so if escape doesn't work in the top center, if you put your mouse.
Got it. Thank you.
Welcome.
Oh, it wasn't giving me the fancy charts yesterday when I looked.
You have to click on this link.
I did, but it was just giving me a
Oh.
blank spot. It must have been my computer wasn't working correctly. It's a choice of IP conflicts. All right, so we said 21.
Yes.
All right. Next.
Service participation.
Was that the humanitarian service?
That it just says how many members will participate in club service activities during the Rotary year.
Okay, that's one of those. Increased number of members involved in service projects.
Yeah, that's
last year we had 15.
Yeah, everything from butterfly to projects to if we set our service project is to do something local and everybody do it and come back and say what you did, you could get to 19. But what do we think is realistic?
So I think we should make sure everybody participates.
I'll lean on them if I have lean on folks if I have some help and if we can come up with a good idea.
So I know that I'm the late one and didn't get the instructions, but I hope I'm allowed to input. I would say everyone. This is an eClub. It shouldn't be that hard to participate in our service projects. Like you said, a lot of them are go do it in the community and come back. So
I'd be game to say 20 or 21.
All right.
Do something.
Yeah, can I just be clear though? Does it mean that? If it does, that's great. If a member went out and joined another service project with a terror club, does that count, or does it only mean participation in a service project sponsored by this club?
I think it actually says in club service activities, but I think this is one of the times when, and it comes up a lot, when all of these goals and the citations are obviously written with terror clubs in mind. They're not necessarily, then people don't necessarily go back through and look at them and think, oh, can an eClub also achieve this? Is it too much of a hurdle? So I would say that in club service, that's part of what we include is getting our Rotarians to be involved in other ones. So
yes,
I would say we could include it, but I think it's a bit ambiguous. It doesn't really say that.
Well, the citation bit does not say involved in your service projects. It says in service projects. So
yeah. And this is club service activities. I don't know, but you're right. I don't know whether that means club service in the old sense of being club service. Yeah. I'm assuming it means humanitarian service.
Yes.
I'm assuming, but I don't know.
I'll buy that.
This may be one of those cases we have to go with the spirit of the rule instead of the literal interpretation.
Yeah. Okay.
So we're going to shoot for 100%?
I know Rotarians too well to go 100%, but I would say if we've gone for 21, I'd say we get 20 at least.
Yeah.
There's always somebody who's not going to do it,
Mhm.
even with good intentions.
Okay, then I would put 20 and let's move on. Just with an eye on the time because it's 9:49.
New member sponsorship.
How many members will sponsor a new member? We had none last year and none the year before, even though we set goals of 4.
Well, yes, but some of us, I guess we just didn't report that we sponsored or we proposed a particular member who joined us.
Mm-hmm.
I think
somebody's reporting, and that's one thing I want to fix, which is why I was not being able to on. But anyway, that's why we're doing this exercise, and we will do it more than once this year.
And we'll say, so if we're going for 4 new members, let's say we will have 4 members, or at least 3 members will sponsor those four people.
Okay.
I would say 3 because I think we may have one person sponsoring 2. I can see a couple scenarios for one person sponsoring 2.
Yeah.
So I'd say 3.
Okay.
Yeah, I like 3.
RAG participation. How many people do we have as members of RAGs? I mean, I'm a member of one, but I don't really participate very much.
Roger is, right?
Oh, action group.
No, I don't think so.
No, not an action group. The one I did belong to was disbanded, which was the landmines.
Yeah.
I belong to fellowships, but no action groups. Actually, no, I don't.
I belong to the AIDS one, but I'm not really very active. Well, I'm not active at all in it.
Okay. I will get myself formally registered to WashRag.
Okay. Yeah.
I'll tell you what else we might encourage our members to do, though, is to join the disaster network, because they have been handling all our finances for all these grants that are going out from our district recovery committee, and it would be in our interest to do it. So
Jackie at least should be a member of that, and for all I know, she is already.
Maybe.
Yeah.
So I would, if we can't do 2, we're not doing our.
I'd be interested in getting involved in that. Like, just how do you sign up? Yeah.
Dawn, I think on that basis we could go for 4. I don't want to be silly about this, but I mean, if certainly with your involvement in WashRag, it seems to me it wouldn't be too difficult to have 3 of our members involved in the disaster rag. So 4 seems to be doable.
Okay.
I think 4 would be very doable. We ought to have 4.
Okay. I think you have 4 people right now it's on the meeting call. So, because I know my problem is I do the social ones a lot because they advertise more, and I just kind of forget about the rags.
And Amaryllis is already involved with the disaster network as well.
So yeah, that's 4, and we may revise it upward later on in the year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Hi, Amaryllis.
Hi, Amaryllis.
Hallelujah. How's the fire drill?
Freaking hilarious. I mean, but what a timing.
Yeah.
Leadership development programs. This is like RLI.
Yes, I think that's, yeah.
All that is training. All that is training of different sources, even training that we schedule at club level is leadership development.
Oh, and pets, does that count?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Well, pets we're starting at basically 3, right?
Yes, yes.
President and secretary, and then we've got at least one person that we propose for district.
Right. The point
Jackie's
of
involved
that-
at district.
And I'm planning on trying to find an RLI this year.
Okay.
There should be one in St. Thomas.
Okay, I think we've got 13 easily.
Yeah. At least each member should attend some kind of training. Even one.
That might be something for the members that complain about not being able to come on Saturdays. We say, okay, one of the things we'd like you to do is attend training.
Yes.
And
Because
then
the point of that is that we cannot develop our members into leaders if we are not properly trained in different areas. So as a club, we are strong leaders, but we need to be knowledgeable in different areas.
Okay, we're running short. What's the, I think we can go 13 here. I believe, was that the figure I threw out? I didn't hear anybody say no. All right.
Yeah, well, let's put it in, John, and then we, as Dawn says, we can always adjust it, but let's see.
All right, and what else do we have? What's next?
conference attendance, Jamaica.
Well, we have 2 Jamaican members.
I'm going.
I'm going.
4.
1, 2, 3, 4.
You probably got to get 5 or 6.
Brent has to go,
Yeah.
and the secretary has to go.
Okay, that's 8.
Well, a couple of people are probably in the end not going to be able to make it. So my guess would be 6.
6.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd agree with you, Dawn. Because it's, things happen.
Yeah, it's pretty dim that I'll be able to go this year.
Yeah. Fellowship.
Fellowship participation. That's where some of the rest of us are doing other little things.
Okay.
Well, yeah.
Well,
I think
Diana and I are both members of a Rotary Fellowship, different ones.
Actually, more than one.
Yeah, more than one, yeah.
me too. More than one.
But it's how many members, not how many fellowships. So.
I know.
That's right. Yeah.
Well, we tried for 7 last year. You want to try for 7 again?
Sure.
All right. District training.
That's PETS, RLI, district leadership
Assembly. Yes.
and the conference, because that's all part of our training is at the conference.
And you can also count those trainings that the district team is trying to put up, like the club runners and all these things.
Yeah.
Social media is coming up on the 2nd Tuesday of August, that kind of thing. So.
Well, if we've got 6 going to the conference, if we've got 6 going for the conference, then we certainly have 6 for this. Plus, yes, you want to pick up another 3 or 4.
10.
At 6.
But it's only the committee chairs, John. Remember that this seems to be specific to committee chairs.
Yes. Good point.
Okay, 4.
Will attend the district training assembly. Remember, for most Terra clubs, it's not the same meeting. Most Terra clubs, PETS, assembly, and conference are different meetings.
Yep.
So whatever we said for conference, we should say for this, because that's what they're getting at.
We said 6, I think, didn't we?
Yes.
Thank you.
And also other districts have their assembly on different times of PETS and the conference.
All right. We've killed it.
Okay. So we have 21 members, 20 people involved in service participation, 3 members sponsoring new members, 4 joining RAGs, 13 taking part in leadership development, 6 in the district conference, 7 in fellowships, and 6 in district training.
All right. Guess we'll have to come back to foundation giving.
That's right.
That's
because
right.
We've done membership at the moment.
Wow.
Can we at least do foundation giving before we leave? Because that's one we ought to know fairly well, right?
All right.
Yep.
No
Okay.
goals selected?
At it.
Oh, all right.
Okay.
All right. We did well last year.
Yeah, our goal was 3,000. We exceeded that.
Let's try 3,000 again. And
I
let's-
think so.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm going to be kind of tight for giving as much as I usually do.
That's annual fund. This is
Yeah.
now polio. And that's not right. I can tell you that's not right. Or maybe because we didn't put any goals in. But we certainly achieved some.
I'll have to go back and look at what happened.
Oh, achieved. Sorry, here we are. 125.
Okay. So for the whole year?
We can do better than that.
Certainly.
500?
Traditionally, we would only get probably about $20 to $50 a member for polio.
500 sounds good at that rate.
Yeah.
Spread it across 20 people.
So
Yeah,
I
that's
have
fine.
to sign off. I have a showing of my house at 10, but I'm putting in the chat what I do for my contribution so you can account for me for this tab.
Okay.
Right.
All right.
Thanks, Jason.
Okay, next. Major gifts.
Yeah.
I guess a 0.
Yeah.
Well,
Some of us have already done it. We're not going to do it again.
Outright donations of 10,000 or more made by individuals. I don't think we're there.
Well,
okay.
No.
Just put 1 because didn't last year we each year to get 1. That's what we have been doing.
We try to get 1.
One person that commit to major gift.
Okay.
For 10,000.
Right.
Okay.
I think it was Dennis' turn last year, but I don't think we did it last year.
Okay, bequest society.
1 also.
Yeah, 1 here.
And benefactors. That should be much, much easier. I mean, we really should.
Oh, yes.
That's for the endowment, no?
Yes. Endowment.
Yeah.
Just
giving.
You can put 1 for sure because I give to the endowment, so I have to give.
But, okay.
Select the goal.
I have my certain that thing. That's why I have to give aside to the share because you remember when we found out that my giving didn't count.
Right.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Folks, this has been lovely.
Yeah, tell 3. If people want to go a little longer, we can.
Well, do you want to just do this as the first thing for next week and knock off, spend another 15, 20 minutes doing the rest of it next week?
Yes.
Yeah, we can actually meet a little bit before, maybe 10 minutes and go at it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not just board, but I'd like to have, if we don't have the club members.
So
Participation this week is kind of short, but.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, I will get my internet sorted out. I'm trying to
You're
breaking up, Dawn.
Yeah, no, your audio.
Not Roger that.
Okay.
Hi.
Are you hearing me a little better now?
Yes.
Right.
No.
No.
Go back to that other tile where you were stepping a moment ago.
Even the phone's not working.
Yeah. Well, everyone's been unmuted so that we can do the four-way test. I can do that again. Some of you have.
Oh, Jiminy Christmas.
Yeah, well, we can hear you. Don't see you. Fine.
All right. Yeah, I took the video off to get a better feed. I will be working on getting my internet fixed this week so that we don't have the delay next week. I'm just trying to do it for less than $120 a month, which is what it would cost to get the regular package. But it's time to get my own normal setup.
Instead of instead of
bouncing
off your brother.
It's just not working to bounce it well enough for a Rotary president. I got to have something that I can rely on. All right. At some point, I will not cause these troubles. All right.
You're worth it, Dawn. You're worth it.
Yeah, no worries.
Okay. So the Rotary test. Who wants to recite? Or shall I? Of the things that we think, say, or do, and the president doesn't have her coffee mug to be a cheat sheet. Is it the truth?
Is it
the truth?
Is it fair to all concerned?
Is it
fair to all concerned?
Will it build goodwill and better friendships?
Will it
build goodwill and better friendships?
Is it beneficial to all concerned?
Will it be
beneficial to all concerned?
And it will be fun even if we're laughing at life and fire drills.
And it will be fun.
Rotary around the world.
Rotary around the world.
Have a fun week.
Okay.
You too.
Terry, you take care, and we'll see you next week.
Oh, you can count on that, Roger.
Okay.
You'll be able to hear me and see me.
Very good.
And we'll hope to hear plenty more from you.
Okay.
It was
Goodbye,
nice to join
everyone.
you this morning.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Have a good weekend.